Hey, we live in this Twin Sports TV.
Hey, this is Twin Talk. Y'all know what time it is. We getting it in.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we got a big show today.
Big
show.
It's a hot topic.
I mean, a hot topic, but it's a necessary topic.
It
and
is.
we definitely need to talk about it.
We need to have the discussion.
It, and we definitely want your opinion.
Right.
This ain't about us and our opinion. It's about you, especially coaches out there.
Let's go ahead and give them the topic.
Yeah,
and that way we can. The topic we're going to be talking about today is how do you feel about transgenders in youth sports? Now, you know, Twin Sports TV, we're all about the kids. We're all about youth sports, no matter what sport it is. We're all about what's best for the kids.
Exactly.
So what we want to do is have this discussion because you wouldn't believe it. It's coming up. It's in the laws. It's in the makings. And I think as parents, coaches, adults, we need to have this discussion on how do we feel about this?
Exactly.
Because this is a major change. This is a major thing. So we want you guys to stay tuned with us. We want you to put your opinions in. Even if you're looking at this after the show, we want you to chime in and
comment
put
down
your
below.
comments.
But also hit that like button and that subscribe button.
Smash it.
YouTube. Smash it.
Let us know how you feel and let's get an adult, respectful conversation going on, dialogue about this topic, because I think we need to do that.
All right, so
we'll be right back. Hey, it's Twin Sports TV. We're back with our live podcast, Twin Talk.
Twin Talk is here, baby. We appreciate it. So we appreciate all of you guys tuning in, turning up with us. Because we got a big show today. Big topic, big show. And we're going to get it in. Because the question is, how do you feel about transgender in youth sports? And for those who don't know who transgender is, that's a male who's identifying as a female. And they want to play sports. Exactly. Or a female identifying as a male and want to play sports.
So we're chiming in because, you know, Twin Sports TV, we're all about youth sports.
Exactly.
We're all about the whole kid, not only just them on the field or on the court, in the classrooms, at home, the whole total package.
The mental of the kid, the emotions of the kid.
This topic here, we know it's a sensitive topic, but it's a necessary topic.
Exactly.
Because as adults, as parents, as coaches, raising our kids, mentoring our kids, being positive role models and influences over the kids, we need to have this discussion. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about someone who identifies as a male playing in female sports, or vice versa, a female identifying as a male playing in a male sport with males?
Exactly.
That's a topic. So what we want to do is not really about what we think. We want to know about what you think, because there are things coming up the first of the year that we want to let everybody know about, and it's going to impact youth sports down to the little ones all the way up. And it's going to impact them major. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the web, because we found this real interesting article that came out the beginning of December. So let's go there and let's chime in. So give me 1 second to pop it up on the screen. Yep. There it is. So this is what we're going to be talking about. This article is what is why we're having this Twin Talk discussion today. And it talks about Schumer.
Chuck Schumer.
Yep,
Y'all
Chuck
know
Schumer.
From New York.
Right. Agrees with Biden's plan to let transgenders play girls' sports and use girls' bathrooms and locker rooms. Now, this was just published December 1st, 2020. So this is not an old article. This is very, very new, and it's very, very real. So we want to have a real discussion about this. So I'm going to read the article, and then we can go from there. So it says CNS News. In response to a question from CNSnews.com, Senator Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, Democratic New York, said today he agreed with Joe Biden's plan to force public schools to let transgender women, biological males, play on girls' sports teams and use their bathrooms and locker rooms. So this is what he's saying. All right. We're gonna keep it moving, keep it pushing with the article. Okay, up here at the top it says at the U.S. Capitol on Tuesday, CNSNews.com asked Senator Schumer, we good? Okay. Joe Biden said that on his first day of office, he will give transgenders students access to sports, bathrooms, and locker rooms in accordance with their gender identity in all federally funded schools. Do you think he has the ability? Something moved. Do you think he has the ability to do this, and do you agree with his decision?
That's a question.
Yep. Schumer said, I agree with the decision, and I know he'll check things out thoroughly legally. On the Biden-Harris campaign website, a listed priority is guaranteeing transgender students have access to facilities based on their gender identity. On his first day in office, Biden will reinstate the Obama-Biden guidance revoked by the Trump-Pence administration, which will restore transgender students access to sports, bathrooms, and locker rooms in accordance with their gender identity. The Biden LGBTQ plus policy reads. Now we're going to read this policy because we don't want y'all to think that this is our words. This is their words. Okay, you want to hit that topic?
Yeah. Ensure young LGBTQ plus people are supported and protected in our schools and college campuses by guaranteeing transgender students have access to facilities based on their gender identity.
On his first day in office, which I read in the article above, so this is where they're getting their information from, Biden will reinstate the Obama-Biden guidance revoked by the Trump-Pence administration, which will restore transgender students access to sports, bathrooms, and locker rooms in accordance with their gender identity. He will direct his Department of Education to vigorously enforce and investigate violations of transgender students' civil rights.
Now hold on, let's get this straight. When they're saying transgender and they're saying gender identity, it's not what you're born with. If you were born a male, it's what you want to change to. If you were born a male but you identify now you want to be a female, then that's what they're talking about, gender identity. Just so we can be clear. It's not what you born, female or boy, girl, is what you change to. Let's go.
Let's keep it pushing. Okay, Obama-era policy was issued in schools in 2016, mandating as a condition for receiving federal funds, that's funds from the government, a school agrees that it will not exclude, separate, deny benefits to, or otherwise treat differently on the basis of sex, any person, in its educational programs or activities unless expressly authorized to do so under Title 1X or its implementing regulations. The departments treat a student's gender identity as a student's sex for purposes of Title 1X and its implementing regulations. This means that a school must not treat a transgender student differently from the way it treats other students of the same gender identity. So if it's a male and it identifies as a woman and it wants to use the girls or the ladies' restroom, then it has that right to do that. That is what the Biden-Harris policy is going to implement.
All right, so let's read this.
Right here. Under the Title 1X, there is no medical diagnosis or treatment requirements that students must meet. Students must.
Title 9 actually is what it says. Oh,
Title 9. My good. Way to look out for me. Must meet as a prerequisite to being treated consistent with their gender identity. The letter explaining the Obama policy continues. This policy would allow biological males who identify as females to be granted access to female locker rooms, bathrooms, and sports teams without undergoing confirmation surgery or using hormone replacement.
Right.
Now that's interesting right there. The International Olympic Committee and world athletes both require transgender female athletes to demonstrate sustained lower levels of testosterone before they are allowed to compete in female sports. I didn't even realize they did that. Did you?
Yeah, keep it down here.
Okay. Right there. Okay. Genetically transgender women are still men. A biological female has 2 X chromosomes, has an X chromosomes, double, and a biological male has an X and a Y chromosome, an XY.
All right. So for those who don't believe it, this is the article. This is their opinion. Right. Now we're gonna shoot a show you guys.
This is actually not an opinion. This is actually fact of actually what they got off of their plan to implement day one in the Biden
Harris administration. But let's hear it from the horse's mouth to see, you know,
whether this question was posed in a news conference and what Chuck Schumer actually said, and make sure it was valid.
All right, let's go. Stay tuned. Look at
last one.
Joe Biden said that on his first day of office, he will give transgender students access to sports, bathrooms, and locker rooms in accordance with their gender identity in all federally funded schools. Do you think he has the ability to do this, and do you agree with this decision?
I agree with the decision, and I know he'll check things out thoroughly legally. Thank you, everybody.
All right. There it is.
There you have it.
You heard it from Chuck Schumer himself.
That he said the Biden-Harris administration is in their plan. He said the first 100 days they're going to roll out is going to be for transgender, and this is part of the plan as far as with youth sports.
And just in case you're questioning whether it's actually in their plan, because, you know, this is a news article from cnsnews.com, we're going to switch it over to the actual Biden-Harris website to show you that it is actually, in fact, in their plan. And it says right here, Biden will make enactment of the Equity Act during his first 100 days as president of the top legislative priority.
That means the Equality Act, which is the best vehicle for ensuring equal rights under the law for LGBTQ plus Americans. So this is the plan that he's planning on enacting.
Right. And it will be guaranteed that the LGBTQ plus individuals are protected under existing civil rights law.
So when we're talking about youth sports, here we go. We got to pose these questions to understand, you know, so you guys can see what this is really all about. And whether you agree, especially if you're a coach or whatever, definitely chime in with us and let us know what's your opinion on that. Because if you're a coach of a basketball team and it's a female's basketball team, and they're saying that
a male who identifies
as a female can play, is that fair?
Is that fair to the other players?
Exactly. And the other team who may have just all females. Is it that men are more athletic and something with the chromosomes? You know what I'm saying? You know, they're stronger, faster, bigger, you know, at times. So is that an advantage that they will have if they want to switch and they go into another sport?
And how do you feel with your daughters or young ladies playing with males? So that means in their locker rooms, even though they identify as male, they're going to go into the female locker room. Does that pose safety issues or violation issues, or are we revamping what the locker room looks like in the inside? Are we revamping what bathrooms look like now and that kind of thing? We want to know your opinion. How do you feel about that? How does that feel? How's that going to transform the dynamic of sports where we have all girls on one team and we have guys on another team? Now, and then you can flip it. How do you feel about your sons playing football, basketball, whatever, and having a female who identifies as a male on their team or on the opposite team? Now, I could take it personally as a mom who has a son who plays sports and he plays football, which is a very rough and it's aggressive sport, lots of contact. I would feel personally uncomfortable if there were women on the other team or young ladies or girls on the other team playing and he would have to be aggressive with them. And then I would feel funny about that I'm raising him to be aggressive towards women, and then that's okay when I'm raising him to respect and love and cherish women. So would we be sending mixed signals or not? How do you feel about that?
Let us know. Definitely chime in, comment, hit that like button. This is Twin Talk. It's a deep subject.
But it's open for discussion.
Exactly, because we need to know what is this going to entail, because you talk about schools now. Mm-hmm. Now you're talking about they're going to have to revamp the bathrooms, the locker rooms. Mm-hmm. So the school's already claiming they don't have budgets. I'm trying to understand, where does the money come from to redo all this in these federally funded schools?
So are they giving them extra funding? Because they just said they won't get funding if they didn't
transform their stuff over. Right. So this is a big question. It's like they always got money for certain things and then they don't have money for other things. Right. So, because this seemed like a big transition. You talking about bathrooms, locker rooms, rooms, everything.
Sports in general when they travel.
Exactly.
You know, and accommodations, you know, that kind of thing. What's going to happen then?
What about for our safety equipment? Are we revamping safety equipment for women, or they do they do the same stuff? I don't know.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Exactly.
And what about far as like track and field? You got the hurdles. I think the women, do they jump at the same height as the men? Exactly. How do we adjust that? If you know, I don't know. This is
because
they're
still
hot topic.
Even though they're transgender identifying as a female, they're still male. And I think that's what the point they were making in the article. They're still male physically.
Right.
Mentally, I'm assuming emotionally, they're identifying as a female. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to regulations and things like that, how do you balance that? That's an interesting topic. Please chime in on that.
Hey, coaches, let us know. What do y'all think?
Because I know in some little leagues, they do have girls playing on baseball with the guys, or even maybe football at a very, very young age. I'm talking peewee and that kind of thing.
Exactly.
But when the kids get older, middle school, high school, the level of play gets harder. The competition is tougher. People are meaner. Everybody's trying to win any means necessary a lot of times. And how do you feel about your girls out there roughing it around with guys? And
and like track and field, if you're a guy identifying as a female and you're running track, but guys sometimes their bodies are stronger, better, fast. Exactly. So is that competition correct? Fair? Is it fair for the other female athletes?
Or is it? I mean, let us know, because we might not know. We don't know everything. There might be something we're missing.
We're just posing a question.
Right. Is that fair?
We're just, you know.
You lost a word?
Right. You know, we just want people's opinions. We want to be respectful with the issue. But I think everybody's opinion matters, you know, whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it. You know, I think your opinion matters, is valued, and we need to talk about it and discuss it because it could be a very real issue
coming in the near future. I mean, like January, he's talking about day one,
not 2, 3, 4,
the door, whatever. He's talking about day one, running with this to make this law.
Exactly. So we want your comments, your concerns, put them down, questions. Hey, it's real. You know, we heard it in the debate. Somebody asking about an 8-year-old, you know, taking hormones to transgender over. So at 8 years old, that's a whole nother topic.
And they're trying to pass laws for them to do it without parents' permission at 12.
Exactly.
Do you even know that?
No.
So there could be people out there that are going through hormonal changes and that kind of thing involved in sports, and no one knows.
Exactly.
So, is that fair?
Exactly. So we need to definitely talk about it. We need to do the research on it because it's something that I think
is going to affect the youth all over.
Right. And it's going to affect coaches and parents, teachers, administrative staffs, you know.
So it's good to kind of talk about it and discuss it early and get the pros and cons all out of the way. And then we can move forward on a direction people think we should go.
Because there's a lot of people that agree with this, and then there's a lot of people that said no, they don't agree with it.
There's a lot of people say, hey, let's go forward. A lot of people say, no, we're not ready for this.
Exactly.
So we just want to put it out there and see which way do you go. So we need all our coaches, whether you're male coaches, female coaches. Doesn't matter what sports. It could be tennis, it could be golf, soccer, whatever.
Right.
How do you feel? We're talking about, we know it's co-ed a lot of times at the younger age, but when you get to middle school, high school, pretty much it's divided. You know, you have the girls sports, you have the guys sports, so that's primarily what we're talking about in those areas. What should we do?
And we had an interesting article about someone identifying how we talking about gender identity versus what you're actually born. And so this is another topic, another question we want to pose, but we just want to throw this out there because I think it's kind of relevant.
Right.
You know, because when we talk about somebody's born male, but they identify their gender as a female.
So, and then we're accommodating that, and we're changing things. We're changing laws, rules, all kinds of stuff. We're changing them for that. So we're trying to say, does that open the Pandora's box for something else? And this was funny. I mean, somebody brought this up to us.
Right.
So we just passing it on because we want the dialogue.
Exactly.
Right. So
we want your opinion.
Right.
What you think?
Let's share. What about this guy right here? Can everybody see this guy right here? This from Wikipedia. So this guy right here, they call him Stalking Cat. Now he identifies as a cat, as a tiger. So if he identifies as a tiger, he's undergone so many surgeries.
Yeah, look at him.
To definitely, let me see if I can make that even larger.
Don't want to scare too many people, but
right.
But that ain't right. I did say scared, but that's what he identified with. So I don't know. I don't know what the appropriate thing to say is.
Right. Yeah. So he identifies with a tiger. Trying to see if I can make it bigger there. So do we?
I think he's big enough.
Okay.
I think the tiger's big enough.
So
born a male, but now he identifies as a tiger. This is a true story. This ain't nothing made
up.
Right.
Right. You can go Google this guy.
He done had all his surgeries and all that kind of stuff to get him to look like this. So this is what he said he identified.
So do we open up a Pandora's box and we now have to accommodate him
for tigers? Because he want to eat human meat, right?
Right.
I think something like that.
Some kind of weird
eating habits too, along with his tiger identity.
So does that open up the Pandora's box? What do we do with this guy here, or somebody who identifies with this right here? So I just wanted to put that.
And I don't think he's the only person out there.
No.
Tell you the truth, I don't think he is.
If you really do some research, you'll find out he's
There's
not.
some strange stuff out there. So that's what we're just saying. We just want your opinion on it. Is this opening up the doors for a whole lot of stuff?
Are we ready for that? How do you feel about that?
Make sure you comment down below. Put your comment, but hit that like button because we want this to go out worldwide. So everybody, the dialogue. We want to hear what you have to say. We value your opinion. We value that you're, even looking at us on our platform. We definitely appreciate it. This is Youth Sports. Hey, and we're just trying to cover all the bases, all the topics of what youth sports entail, and this is one subject that just came up to us. Well, we've been looking at it for quite some time, trying to figure out, where this is headed. So we definitely need a dialogue. We want you guys comment, hit that like button, and we appreciate it.
And even after the broadcast, please chime in. Let us know down below. Let us know, what's the deal, how you feeling about it, and that kind of thing.
And hit our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Right.
We love you guys.
We do.
You know what I'm saying? Be your best self, because what? The best is yet to come.
Woo!